First contact. The Helios defense platform's warning systems activated without fanfare. A simple notification appeared on Commander Sarah Chen's display. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Within seconds, 3 massive vessels materialized at the edge of Earth's solar system, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence that put humanity's most advanced ships to shame. "Status report," Chen ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Humanity had prepared for this moment for decades, but preparation and reality were entirely different beasts. 3 vessels, approximately 4 kilometers in length each, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported. "Energy readings are off the charts, Commander. They're holding position just beyond Mars' orbit. The ships belong to the Galactic Concordat, an alliance of spacefaring civilizations that had dominated known space for millennia. Their arrival wasn't unexpected. Earth's quantum experiments had been deliberately visible, a calculated risk to draw their attention. What surprised Chen was the size of their delegation. "Just 3 ships," she murmured. "They're either very confident or very foolish." The Concordat's message arrived on all frequencies, automatically translated by Earth's AI systems. "Civilization of Sol 3, we come representing the Galactic Concordat. Your recent technological advances have warranted our attention. Prepare to receive our diplomatic delegation." Chen exchanged glances with Admiral James Harrison, who had just arrived on the command deck. The Admiral's weathered face bore the hint of a smile. "Well, Commander, looks like Project Phoenix worked. We got their attention." "Yes, sir, but they're underestimating us. 3 ships for a first contact mission to an unknown civilization." Harrison's smile widened. "Good, let them underestimate us. It's worked in our favor before." The truth was, humanity had been preparing for this moment since the discovery of quantum signatures in deep space 50 years ago. Project Phoenix wasn't just about developing faster-than-light travel. It was about ensuring humanity's survival in a galaxy they knew was populated by older, more advanced civilizations. The Concordat's delegation arrived via shuttle at the newly constructed Orbital Diplomatic Center. High Arbiter Vextal, a tall, elegantly proportioned being with crystalline features, led their delegation. Their apparent confidence bordered on arrogance. "We have observed your civilization's rapid technological advancement," Vextal began, their translated voice carrying an artificial warmth. "The Concordat welcomes promising young species, offering guidance and protection in exchange for adherence to our established protocols." Admiral Harrison, representing Earth's United Defense Council, listened politely. "We appreciate your welcome, High Arbiter. However, I should note that Earth is not seeking protection. We're interested in peaceful cooperation as equals." Vextal's crystalline features shifted in what might have been amusement. "Equals? Your civilization has barely achieved quantum travel. The Concordat has guided the development of thousands of species over millions of years. We have protocols for integrating developing civilizations like yours." "With respect," Harrison replied, "Earth's situation is unique. We've developed our technology independently, without guidance. We'd prefer to maintain that independence." "Independence," Vextal repeated, their tone carrying a note of dismissal. "You don't understand the dangers that lurk in the void. The Concordat's protection is not offered lightly. The alternative is isolation, or worse." Chen, standing at Harrison's side, noticed the subtle shift in the Admiral's posture. The implied threat hadn't gone unnoticed. "Perhaps," Harrison suggested, "a demonstration would be beneficial, to help you understand our current capabilities." Vextal's features realigned in what seemed to be agreement. "Yes, the Concordat maintains peace through strength. A display of your military capabilities would help us determine the appropriate level of protection your world requires." "Excellent," Harrison replied, his smile never wavering. "We'll arrange a joint exercise. Though I should warn you, human military doctrine may surprise you." As the delegation departed, Chen approached Harrison. "Sir, they're not taking us seriously." "No, they're not," Harrison agreed. And that's exactly what we wanted. Remember your history, Commander. Humanity has always been underestimated by other humans, by nature itself. And we've always surprised those who underestimated us. He turned to face the viewport, watching the Concordat's shuttle return to their ships. They think they're here to evaluate us, to decide our place in their hierarchy. They don't realize we've been preparing for this moment for half a century. Every advancement we've made, every technology we've developed, has been with this day in mind. Project Phoenix, Chen said quietly. Yes, they see our quantum drive experiments, but they don't see the rest. The adaptive shield systems, the phase shift weapons, the AI integration networks. They see what we wanted them to see. A young civilization just reaching for the stars. And when they realize the truth, Harrison's expression hardened. Then they'll understand why humanity has survived every challenge we've ever faced. We're not here to be protected, Commander. We're here to change the galaxy. In orbit above them, Earth's true defense fleet remained hidden, cloaked by technology the Concordat hadn't even realized was possible. Humanity was ready for whatever came next. Whether it was peace or war would depend entirely on how the Concordat reacted to the truth about their supposed primitive civilization. The demonstration. The joint military exercise was scheduled for the following week in the Kuiper Belt, far from Earth's populated regions. Commander Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Hyperion, one of Earth's newest vessels publicly revealed to the Concordat. The ship was impressive by any standard, a kilometer-long marvel of human engineering. But it was also a carefully crafted deception. Concordat vessels approaching, Lieutenant Rodriguez announced. 5 ships this time. Looks like they want to put on a show. The Concordat ships emerged from quantum space in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming with that same otherworldly iridescence. High Arbiter Vextal's voice came through on the command channel. We will demonstrate standard Concordat battle procedures. Please observe from a safe distance. Admiral Harrison, watching from Earth Command, sent a private message to Chen. Let them go first. Let's see what they consider impressive. The demonstration began with a display of the Concordat's weapons technology. Their ships moved with incredible precision, firing energy weapons that could vaporize small moons. Their shields shimmered with complex patterns that spoke of technology centuries beyond what humanity had publicly revealed. Magnificent, isn't it? Vextal's voice carried that same patronizing tone. This is but a fraction of the Concordat's military might. Now perhaps you would like to demonstrate your own capabilities. Chen exchanged glances with her tactical officer, Lieutenant Sarah Wang. Ready the test package? Wang nodded, a slight smile playing at her lips. Ready, Commander. High Arbiter, Chen responded. We would be honored to demonstrate one of our training exercises. Please maintain your current position. The Hyperion moved forward, seemingly alone in the vast expanse of space. To the Concordat sensors, it would appear vulnerable, almost primitive compared to their mighty vessels. Beginning demonstration, Chen announced. Then, more quietly to her crew. Initiative Phoenix, Pattern Delta. What happened next would forever change the Concordat's understanding of humanity. The Hyperion's primitive hull suddenly shifted, revealing layers of technology that had been completely invisible to the Concordat sensors. But more shocking was what appeared behind it. 3 ships materializing from seemingly empty space, their cloaking technology so advanced it had fooled even the Concordat's sophisticated detection systems. Multiple weapons locked on all Concordat vessels, Wang reported calmly. Phase shift cannons charged. Quantum disruption fields active. The Concordat ship's sensors went wild as they detected weapons they had never encountered before, technology that shouldn't have been possible for a young civilization. What is the meaning of this? Vextal's voice had lost its patronizing edge, replaced by something closer to alarm. This, Admiral Harrison's voice cut in, is a demonstration of actual human military capability. Those ships you see, they'd been following your vessels since you entered our system. You never detected them. The technology you're seeing now, it's not our newest or most advanced. It's what we're comfortable revealing. The Hyperion and its escort ships moved in perfect coordination, their maneuvers displaying a level of precision that matched or exceeded the Concordat's own. But it was the nature of their technology that truly shocked the alien delegation. Impossible, one of Vextal's subordinates transmitted. Their weapons, their phase shifted at a quantum level. The energy readings are beyond your current understanding. Harrison finished. Humanity has developed along a very different technological path than the Concordat. We didn't follow your protocols or your established development patterns. We forged our own way. The demonstration continued, with the human ships executing maneuvers that defied the Concordat's understanding of physics. Their weapons systems demonstrated capabilities that shouldn't have been possible for a civilization so young. But most disturbing to the Concordat observers was the evident fact that humanity was still holding back, showing only a fraction of their true capabilities. I believe, Harrison said finally, this gives you a better picture of Earth's actual status. We're not looking for protection, High Arbiter. We're looking for peaceful cooperation between equals. And if peace isn't possible, he let the implication hang in the silence of space. Vextal's response was delayed, their voice carrying a new note of respect tinged with fear. We will need to consult with the Concordat Council. This changes many things. As the Concordat ships prepared to depart, Chen received another private message from Harrison. Well done, Commander. Phase 1 complete. Sir, Chen replied, they'll be back with more ships. They'll want to know everything about our technology. Of course they will, Harrison answered. And that's exactly what we planned for. The game is changing, Commander. The galaxy's power structure was just upended by a species they considered primitive. Now we get to see how they handle it. The Hyperion's crew watched as the Concordat vessels disappeared into quantum space, knowing that the next phase would be even more challenging. Humanity had just announced its presence on the galactic stage in a way that couldn't be ignored or controlled. The ban. The emergency session of the Concordat Council was called 3 days after the demonstration. The Grand Chamber of the Concordat's mobile capital ship, the Eternal Wisdom, buzzed with nervous energy as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to address what many were calling the human question. High Arbiter Vextal stood before the assembly, their crystalline form dimmed with concern. The humans possess technology that violates our understanding of natural technological progression. Their weapons systems alone represent a threat to galactic stability. Admiral Harrison and Commander Chen sat in the observer section, Earth's first official representatives to the Concordat Council. They listened as species after species voiced their concerns about humanity's capabilities. The Immerse representative, a feline being with iridescent fur, spoke next. These humans developed phase shift technology independently, without access to the Concordat's knowledge base. Their ships can become invisible to our most advanced sensors. This cannot be allowed to continue unchecked. And what exactly? Harrison asked, his voice cutting through the chamber's atmosphere of fear. Do you propose to do about it? The chamber fell silent. The human admiral's question carried an edge that no one could miss. First Speaker Zelix, the eldest member of the council, raised their ancient form from the central podium. We propose regulations, restrictions on the deployment of human military vessels in Concordat space, a ban on their participation in galactic conflicts. Chen watched Harrison's face carefully, noting the slight smile that played at the corners of his mouth. This was exactly what they had anticipated. Interesting proposal, Harrison replied. And how do you plan to enforce these restrictions? The question hung in the air, heavy with implication. Everyone in the chamber understood what he was really asking. How do you plan to control a civilization that can hide their ships from your best detection systems? This is not about control, First Speaker Zelix insisted. This is about maintaining peace and stability in the galaxy. Your weapons technology is too destructive, too unpredictable. The phase shift capabilities alone could destabilize entire sectors if misused. Harrison stood, his bearing military straight. With respect, first speaker, Earth did not develop these technologies to destabilize the galaxy. We developed them because we understood a fundamental truth. The universe is not a safe place. We needed to be ready for anything, including the possibility that first contact might not be peaceful. Are you suggesting, Vextal interrupted, that you developed these weapons expecting hostility from the Concordat? We developed these weapons, Chen spoke up for the first time, expecting anything. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. It's a very human philosophy. The chamber erupted in murmurs as species across the galaxy discussed this very human perspective. The concept of developing such advanced weapons as a precautionary measure seemed to disturb many of them deeply. First speaker Zilix raised their appendages for silence. The motion before the council is clear. We propose a formal ban on human warships in Concordat space, except within their own solar system. Their technology is too dangerous to be permitted free range in the galaxy. The vote that followed was quick and nearly unanimous. Only a handful of species, mostly younger ones who had more recent memories of being vulnerable, abstained. Harrison accepted the declaration with that same slight smile. The Earth United Defense Council will need to review these restrictions, of course. But in the meantime, I have a question for the Council. How many human ships do you think are in this system right now? The chamber went deathly quiet. Because, Harrison continued, I can assure you that the number is not zero. We respect the Concordat's authority, but we will not compromise on our ability to defend ourselves or our allies. Allies? Vextal's tone sharpened. You have no allies in the Concordat. Not yet, Chen replied softly, but her voice carried in the silence. But give it time. As they left the chamber, Chen spoke quietly to Harrison. They're afraid of us. Good, Harrison replied. Fear can lead to respect, and respect can lead to true cooperation. But first, they needed to understand that they can't control us. And the ships in the system. Harrison's smile widened slightly. Let them wonder. Sometimes, the possibility of our presence is more effective than our actual presence. The ban was officially recorded in the Concordat's archives, but everyone present understood a fundamental truth. Humanity had just changed the rules of the game. The question wasn't whether they would obey the ban, but how long it would take for the Concordat to realize that their traditional power structures were already becoming obsolete. Rising tensions. 3 months after the Concordat's ban on human warships, Commander Chen found herself in an unexpected position. The UES Hyperion was docked at Outpost Sigma, a remote station near the border of Concordat space, meeting with representatives from the Nexi, a species that had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel. Your ships, the Nexi ambassador, a bioluminescent being named Ixel, spoke with barely contained excitement. They can truly become invisible to Concordat sensors. Chen maintained a diplomatic smile. I'm not at liberty to discuss specific capabilities, Ambassador, but I can say that Earth is interested in peaceful technological exchange with emerging civilizations. The meeting wasn't officially happening. The Concordat's ban had technically made such interactions illegal, but in the months since the ban, dozens of younger species had reached out to Earth through back channels, seeking alternatives to complete dependence on the Concordat. The Concordat demands access to all our quantum research, Ixel's bioluminescence dimmed with frustration. They claim it's for our protection, but we know it's about control. They fear any development they don't oversee. Harrison's voice came through Chen's secure calm. Tell them we're interested. But be careful. We have company coming. Chen's tactical display showed 3 Concordat patrol vessels entering the sector, right on schedule. Ambassador, Chen said calmly, I believe we should continue this discussion another time. Your ship has full clearance to depart. As the Nexi vessel prepared to leave, the Concordat ships approached the station. Their commander, a veteran named Crystal who had been present at the original demonstration, opened a channel. Commander Chen. Krixtal's translated voice carried a note of suspicion. Your presence here violates the Council's ban. With respect, Commander, Chen replied. The Hyperion is a research vessel. The ban specifically mentions warships. Unless you're suggesting that every human vessel is a warship. The implication hung in the air. The Concordat couldn't admit that they suspected every human ship of being militarized without acknowledging their complete inability to verify such claims. We detected a Nexi vessel departing. Krixtal pressed. Were you engaging in unauthorized technological exchange? The Nexi are an independent civilization, Commander. Who they speak with is their business, not the Concordats. The tension was broken by a new alert. 6 more ships dropping out of quantum space. But these weren't Concordat vessels. They were representatives from other younger species, all technically under Concordat protection. Interesting timing, Chen remarked casually. Looks like this sector is getting quite busy. Krixtal's frustration was evident. This is a coordinated effort to undermine Concordat authority. No, Chen corrected. This is what freedom looks like. These civilizations are making their own choices about their futures. The Concordat's ban on human warships doesn't prevent diplomatic relations. The Council will hear about this. I'm sure they will. And they'll be unable to do anything about it without admitting that their authority rests entirely on the threat of force against younger civilizations. Is that really the message the Concordat wants to send to the galaxy? As the Concordat vessels withdrew, Harrison's voice came through Chen's private channel again. Well handled, Commander. How many of our ships were actually in the sector? Chen smiled. 3, sir. All cloaked, all monitoring the Concordat's response. Good. The Concordat is learning a hard lesson. You can't ban an idea. Every restriction they place on us only makes more species interested in what we have to offer. Sir, Chen hesitated. Some of these species are barely ready for quantum travel. Are we sure about sharing our technology with them? We're not sharing weapons, Commander. We're sharing knowledge, expertise, and most importantly, a choice. The Concordat's monopoly on technological advancement is ending. They just don't know it yet. The Hyperion sensors tracked the departing ships, Concordat, Nexi, and the others. Each was returning to their respective worlds with a new understanding. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was at the heart of that change. The real question, Harrison mused, isn't whether the Concordat will try to stop us. It's whether they'll adapt to the new reality we're creating or try to forcefully maintain their control. Either way, humanity is ready. New order. The crisis came sooner than anyone expected. Not from the political tensions between humanity and the Concordat, but from deep space, a threat that would force both sides to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about galactic security. Commander Chen was reviewing reports from Earth's covert diplomatic missions when the first alerts came in. Multiple quantum ruptures, far larger than any known ship could generate, were detected at the edge of Concordat space. All stations, emergency protocol. Harrison's voice cut through all channels, both human and Concordat. Unknown entities emerging from quantum space. Energy signatures exceed anything in our database. The entities that emerged were beyond conventional understanding. Massive crystalline structures that seemed to bend reality around them. They made no attempt at communication before they began their assault on the nearest Concordat worlds. Multiple Concordat colonies under attack. Rodriguez reported from his station on the Hyperion. Their weapons, sir, they're burning through Concordat shields like they don't exist. Chen watched as the Concordat's mighty fleets, the same ones that had tried to intimidate Earth months ago, crumbled before these new invaders. The Concordat's standard battle formations, unchanged for millennia, proved useless against an enemy that didn't follow their rules of warfare. Admiral, Chen called Harrison. The Nexi colony is in the invaders' path. They have no defense capabilities. There was only a moment's pause before Harrison's response. You know what to do, Commander. The ban be damned. The Hyperion's engines flared to life, but it wasn't alone. Across Concordat space, Hidden human vessels decloaked, revealing a defense network that had been in place since before the ban. Earth had never actually withdrawn its ships. They had simply become invisible. This is Commander Chen of the UES Hyperion to all human vessels. Implement Protocol Aegis. Priority is civilian evacuation and defense of populated worlds. Concordat jurisdiction is suspended under emergency protocols. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. Human ships, using tactics and technologies the Concordat had never imagined, engaged the crystalline entities in ways that defied conventional space combat. Phase shift weapons proved capable of penetrating the invaders' defenses. Quantum disruption fields created safe corridors for civilian evacuation. High Arbiter Vextal's voice came through the command channel. Commander Chen, we request immediate assistance. The Eternal Wisdom is under attack. Our weapons are ineffective. Understood, High Arbiter. Hold position. Help is already there. 3 human warships decloaked around the Concordat's capital ship, their advanced shields extending to protect the heart of the Concordat's governance. The Eternal Wisdom's crew watched in awe as human technology, previously deemed too dangerous to exist, became their salvation. The battle raged for 3 days. The invaders were finally driven back not by overwhelming force, but by humanity's unpredictable adaptive tactics. Each human ship operated independently, making decisions on the fly, contrasting sharply with the Concordat's rigid command structure. In the aftermath, as representatives from Earth and the Concordat met aboard the Hyperion, the galaxy's power structure had been irrevocably changed. The ban on human warships, First Speaker Zilix announced, their voice heavy with the weight of change, is hereby lifted. Furthermore, the Concordat formally requests Earth's assistance in reforming our defensive protocols. Harrison smiled. The Concordat's experience and humanity's innovation working together. That's what we wanted from the beginning. We were wrong, Vextal admitted. We saw your capabilities as a threat to stability. We didn't understand that real stability comes from adaptation and growth, not rigid control. The new galactic order that emerged was unlike anything the Concordat had envisioned. Humanity's approach to technology and warfare became a model for younger civilizations. The Concordat's role evolved from controlling authority to administrative body, facilitating cooperation rather than demanding compliance. It's interesting, Chen said to Harrison as they watched the combined human Concordat fleet conduct its first joint exercise. They tried to ban our ships because they were too deadly, but it was that very deadliness that saved them. The universe is not a safe place, Harrison replied, echoing his words from months ago. The Concordat tried to make it safe through control. We humans knew better. You make it safe by being ready for anything, and by standing together when the unknown comes calling. The Hyperion sensors showed hundreds of ships, human and alien, moving in new formations that combined Concordat precision with human creativity. It was a new age for the galaxy, born not from conquest or control, but from the recognition that true strength comes in many forms. And somewhere in the void, humanity's hidden ships still patrolled, ready for whatever the universe might throw at them next. Because if there was one lesson the galaxy had learned, it was that underestimating humanity was always a mistake.